Test, test, test. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are live now on Twitch. We are live on Facebook. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. You can't see anything. It's just the like coming soon screen. Just refresh. Should be here any moment. I'm wondering what part of the stream was causing the issue a couple weeks ago now, or if it was just a temporary hiccup. Looks like all feeds are caught up. So I'm seeing feeds on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok simultaneously. Fantastic. I know this is kind of boring as we just test out the multi-stream feed and make sure it's working. So my apologies for all the extra streams up today. You have to go through and delete all those. I'm starting to think the stream feed to Steam, to the Steam platform, was causing the issue, but there's no way to prove it until we get there. I'm gonna leave this up for a few more minutes. Can everyone hear me on each platform? Give me a wave or a yes or something if you can hear me, and if you can hear the music lightly in the background. The Steam platform for streaming is definitely problematic. But it's been working fine for like the last year with multi-streaming and never had any issues. And then all of a sudden, a few weeks ago, I was getting mad frame drops and the stream would crash and restart constantly. So I just dialed it back to Twitch. It worked fine. And now I've been in contact with Streamlabs, my internet, and just like everyone I can trying to figure this out. Streamlabs gave me a whole list of options to try and things to test out. I've been going through them one at a time, so. Gamroot, how are you again? Thank you for sticking around and helping us power through this. Okay, so we've got a live feed on Facebook. We've got a live feed on Twitch. We've got a live feed on TikTok. We've got a live feed on YouTube. Hey, Adrian Fernandez. You bought Dungeon Alchemist. You're loving it? Glad to hear it. Hey, thanks, Orange Space Monkey. How was your turkey day? I hope you had a wonderful time. By the way, sorry, I'm like trying to keep track of chat, but I'm also testing the multi-stream because it's been broken. So we've been just trying to figure it out. Oh, nice, Gamroot. What you working on? What kind of map? Let's hear it. Tell us. Yes, tell us, precious. Adrian and Space Monkey, is the feed coming through for you? You getting audio and video? A bazaar under a tower? Nice. So like a market area under like a big tower? Well, the Varices. I am happy this is working. We just need to see if we can add Twitter to this mess next. And if that works, then we know it must have been Steam. We can try Steam again and just see if it works and go from there. Maybe a setting I have is bad or something on the back end of Steam isn't configured correctly. There's so many weird things with Steam you have to do just right, so. Very cool, Gamroot. Are you enjoying the new multi-level feature now that you can just build towers like, just up, up, up and away? Coming in great. Thank you so much for the heads up. Appreciate that. Nice, Gamroot. I'm glad to hear it. In fact, I'd love to hear all y'all's feedback on multi-level. You know, it's been a few months since it was released, as it came out in July, so I'm sure a lot of you have gotten hands-on with it or gotten some experience with it. What are the things you like and what are the things you don't like? Especially while we are waiting to transition to end the stream to try and do another platform on the list. I want to run for about 5 minutes to make sure there's no crashes before we end the stream. Multi-level is awesome. Wish I could go back to old maps. You know, that is true. It is a bummer that there is no backwards compatibility with legacy maps. I do think it's a big F. You know, it stinks. But the thing is it also is part of the game with early access. Dungeon Alchemist up to that point had not once had an issue with backwards compatible maps with any of our updates to that point, but that was the first time in our update history and all of our patching and hot fixes and stretch goals that we didn't offer full backwards compatibility. And what's weird about it is you can open those old maps still, you can add like some of the new features like abstract lighting to them, you can still export them and make edits. You just can't play with multi-level on them, and I know all too well about that because this map was started before multi-level was released. So it's going to be cursed to never have a full cathedral. In fact, this multi-level here I did by hand, just using the freestanding walls. So while it's not like a feature offered in legacy maps due to the sheer amount of changes in the foundations of Dungeon Alchemist to make multi-level and roofing work going forward, it is still possible to take advantage of multi-level on these maps by hand. If you're talking, I don't hear you. I'm sorry. Are other people having trouble hearing me? Am I cutting in and out? Would love to know. These are the kind of things we need to test for right now. Yep, Gamroot, the pillars will dynamically stretch to the space they're in. Excuse me. I keep cutting in and out. Anyone else having that issue? Test. Let me check something really quick. Test. Test, 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 test. It's weird. On my end, I've had 0 dropped frames. There's no indication of any issues at this point relative to the stream like there were in the last ones. Glad. Thank you so much, Artful Darkness and Darth Necrosaber. I appreciate you letting me know over on TikTok. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. We're just testing so many platforms. I'm checking the chat feeds on all of them, and sometimes I fall behind. In fact, it looks like we've been good for about 5 minutes now here. I do have a mic filter that might be a little too sensitive, that might be cutting me off here and there. And that I can adjust manually. So let's do that. Test. I would say Twitch has the overall highest engagement across our platforms, but it also has the longest build up. We started streaming on Twitch before we started streaming on YouTube or any other platform. And all of these other platforms were added as multi-streaming was added to our streaming stuff a year ago or so, like a little over a year ago. So for about 2.5 years, it was nothing but Twitch. And then we transitioned to multi-streaming because I started getting lots of feedback. People were like, you know, I don't use Twitch. I don't care for it. Maybe I want to watch on this platform or where I follow you. I'd rather watch you there, you know. Try refreshing, Asmo, because it doesn't seem like anyone else is having the issue at the moment. Anyone else on Twitch getting audio cutting in and out? It would be good to get some confirmation if we could. I know a few of you are lurking, and I don't mean to call you out, but Seisu says it's all fine on his side, so let's just keep testing for a minute. Doing fine. Do I ever cut in and out, like at the edge or the beginning of my speech, like it seems like it wasn't catching me? Test. Test, 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 test. Hey, watch where you want to. That's the whole point of the multi-stream. You know what I mean? Alrighty, we've got multi-stream functioning on most of the platforms. We're going to end the stream. I'm going to add Twitter to the mix next. So we've got Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube working right now. I'll be right back.